Yo, what's up, Bulldogs? All right, so I got kind of an interesting question. I was just going through my Instagram, got a DM from a guy asking about what you should do in like a group situation if, you're trying to set your boundaries and someone violates your boundaries, right? So I was thinking about this, and, a lot of it is contextual. It depends on the situation, but there's a couple of general rules I'll give you, for frame control in this situation and for basically, establishing yourself in a group of men in a dominant position, right? The first thing to talk about here is how to handle passive aggressive versus aggressive behavior, okay? It's kind of like judo, right? If someone attacks you in a passive aggressive way, the best response you can give them is to call it out directly, become directly aggressive, right? The way that people get away with passive aggressive attacks is that you ignore them, they can play it off as if they weren't really attacking you, but you call out exactly what they did, right? So if someone says something passive aggressive to me, I directly confront them and I interpret, I tell them exactly what they meant by that. And I tell them that's not cool, man. Now the opposite applies in the sense that when someone's directly aggressive to you, the best way to handle a hothead is to deflect in a passive aggressive way, right? You basically act cool and collected and you passive aggressively attack them, sort of like a bull charging you, okay? And you're gonna be like Toro. You're not gonna directly confront the bull, okay? You're gonna do the opposite of what they're doing. That's what's always gonna work the best. All right, now, let's talk about in general, in groups of men, all right? So the best way to think about this is like a tribe, all right? Think about like an old tribe of men, of warriors, all right? One of the warriors sees a weaker warrior in the group. So what does he do? Well, he violates his boundaries. He pushes him around, bullies him a little bit to see what's going to happen, right? Now, how does that guy respond? Well, he's going to have to respond with some serious aggression, all right? If you're going to get, if you're in that tribe and someone is disrespecting you, you have to prove yourself. You have to push back hard, okay? You have to call that person out, and you have to be ready for violence, aggressive behavior, all right? Now again, our civilization and society doesn't always resort to violence that quickly, but it's something, in a group of men, that's something you have to be prepared to do, right? Obviously, you're going to draw your boundary first, okay? But if they really do sense you're weak, they're going to just ignore that. They're just going to push you harder, okay? So what do you got to do then? Well, then you got to be aggressive. Then you got to be ready to throw down. All right, now, let's talk about why this happens so you can understand a little bit more about why I'm saying to respond this way, okay? If we go back in time to the tribes and warriors, okay, groups of men, one of the worst things you can have is a man in your group who's weak, right? Jack Donnavan writes about this a lot in The Way of Men in his books. He understands this concept really well, all right? But basically, the reason why we test men in our tribe, in our group, our fellow warriors, is because we want to know if they're weak, because we want to know what's going to happen in a situation where we need them to have our back. Are they going to run? Are they going to hide? Are they going to switch sides, right? Save their own skin? Are they going to become cowards in that situation? Or are they going to fight? All right. Now, that's why we look for the weak man and we bully him and we push him and we see how is he going to respond? Is he going to defend himself? Is he going to stand up for himself? Is he going to cow down? Okay. We can't respect weak men when we're warriors. Why? Because that can get everybody killed. All right. So again, the stakes aren't quite as high, but we still operate with that same kind of social programming, okay? That's something that's built into us as men and groups of men. And again, I'm talking about in the situation of your own tribe. On the street, confrontations, things like that. You get stabbed, you get shot, your head cracked open on the pavement, and have multiple guys, kicking you while you're down. Not a good idea. You should avoid those situations as much as possible. But when you're in your own group of men and they're pushing you and testing you, you got to respond. And sometimes you have to respond with violence. You have to be willing to not back down and to challenge any man that challenges you. Now, once you do this, okay, and the men in your tribe know that you are not weak, that you're not a pushover, they're going to stop testing you, okay? Because they know, all right? That's when you're going to really become part of the group, and men are going to respect each other's boundaries as long as they don't sense weakness. Aside from one case, which is if you're the leader. If you're the leader, you know, you're going to get challenged from time to time by someone wanting to take your leadership position, wanting to challenge to see if you're still the alpha, if you're still the big dog. Okay, so you're going to have to respond to those situations. Anyway, that's it, guys. That's basically how you do this. Now, if you are looking for a group of men, okay, as I tell men all the time, all right, if you want to become a strong man, you have to be around strong men, right? That's why I created the Bulldog Mindset. All right, you can check it out. Just click the link below. You get in for $7 for the first month, guys. All right, try it out. Join us, okay? But only if you're ready to be tested, because you are going to get tested, all right? It's not some environment where, you know, you're just going to be let off the hook, where people are going to be afraid of offending you, okay? We have a specific room in our Discord server called Fight Club for a reason. That's where gentlemen go when they have fucking disputes, and there's no rules in there. You can say whatever the fuck you want. Now, I always recommend that men in the tribe, you know, have some respect for each other and don't cause problems on purpose. But you know what? This is, you know, these things have to be worked out. So anyway, guys, if you're looking for that group, if you want to get weekly videos from me talking about concepts like this, how to build your wealth, how to become stronger as a man, and you know, how to deal with women, all of the things that men need, click the link below. Get in there, you know, $7 for the first month. Like I said, it's a trial membership. And then, you know, you can cancel anytime if you don't like it, but we don't have many guys cancel because we have a pretty tight knit group, big tribe in there, and we're growing every day. So that's it. That's how you handle these kind of situations. And it can be challenging, right? It can be tough. And, you know, we've been sort of trained by society, guys, to respond to aggression with submission, all right? A real man does not do that, okay? Again, you have to be diplomatic. You have to be smart about your responses, okay? But when you're tested, you got to be ready to pass that test. That's what I train men to do, all right? And that's what Bulldog Mindset is all about. It's about developing the mental toughness and stepping up and being a man. All right, guys, see you next week.